Hey boys and girls, today we are going to do an activity which is going to focus on the skill of underhand tossing. Now we're going to use that sock ball that we made in our very first lesson. If you don't have the sock ball or you lost it, just go back to lesson 1, watch the video on how to make a new sock ball. Now of course you can adapt this activity to use any ball that you have at home already. It's just indoors you need to be careful on which ball you're using. If you go outdoors, you have the freedom to use whatever ball you want, whatever target you want. Today are just some suggested activities that you can do to do the underhand toss using stuff that's in your house. So, I have a laundry basket, I have a Rubbermaid tub, I have a trash can, a bathroom trash can, an old bucket full of bubble gum, and I have glass. Now, obviously, some of these are going to be easier to get the ball to go into than others. So if you are in kindergarten or first grade, you probably are going to want to stick to the bigger targets, okay? But if you are in 4th or 5th grade, then you might want to go for some of the smaller targets. And if you really want to challenge yourself, you can go for something very small because the ball has to be able to fit in there, but this one doesn't give you a lot of extra room here, okay? Another thing, you can do some fun things by maybe stacking them up, going for different heights, putting them all near each other and getting different points. So you can be real creative with this. And any ideas you have, you can share on the discussion at the bottom. I'm gonna demonstrate some of the things. Like I just said, using multiple heights can help. The distance that you are away from it can make it more challenging. The ball that you're using can make it more challenging. And where you put the target. So if I put the target up against the wall, then I can use the wall as a backboard. So you younger students, you're probably gonna wanna use the wall as a backboard, okay? Let's go for the biggest one first, okay? Now, whatever you're doing, the underhand toss, you want to do it the right way. You want to give yourself the best chance to be successful. So could you stand there with your feet, your legs perfectly straight and just do this? Yes, you could. And would you make it? Yes. But if you want to challenge yourself and give yourself the best chance to go with the smaller targets, what you need to do is you need to bend your knees slightly. Most activities that we do at PE, you want to get in an athletic position. An athletic position is when your knees are bent slightly and you can move in all directions, okay? Now, you want to put the opposite foot of your throwing arm slightly forward, okay? Then you want to take the ball in your hand and you want to swing your arm underneath your waist, and then you want to point at your target and follow through when you release it. Now, the release is very important. The release is when you let go of the ball. If you let go of it here, it's gonna go down into the ground. If you let go of it here, it's gonna go straight up. So you've gotta practice to find the right release point. Depending on the target that you're using, that's gonna determine the release point. Now I'm gonna start off real simple from back over here, right at the edge of my carpet. Also, I forgot to tell you something. Not only do you follow through with the release point, but some of you, especially you 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, you'll learn to use the back of your hand like this to get a little bit of backspin. And when we did our basketball unit, remember we talked about getting that backspin on the basketball to make it stay close to the target? It's the same concept here. So here we go. I'm gonna aim at the easy, right? But for some of you, that might not be too easy, okay? You can also play a game with your brother and sister if you want. So let's go with the tub. A little bit smaller, still should be pretty easy. Now, what can I do to make that a little more challenging? Just pull it away from the wall. So if you're in kindergarten or first, and this is too easy, but the smaller ones are too hard, just pull it away from the wall, and now you have to put just the right arc on the ball to get it in there. We're gonna go, oh, this is getting a little smaller. I'll use the backboard still on this. Let's see if I can get this. Yes. Okay. Now again, more challenging is going to be out here. Still using the backboard. Okay. Knees bent slightly. Aiming at my target. Following. Yes! And here we go, the most challenging one. This is going to be challenging for anyone. I mean, look at that. The ball barely fits in there. So even if you use a backboard or not, it's going to be super challenging. I'm going to attempt. Ooh, don't worry about if you don't make it. This is just for fun, okay? You can do these activities outside. You can take your trash can, which is a big target, put it on one side of the driveway, toss a ball. If you have a ball at home, you can use a volleyball. You can use a tennis ball. I don't know if I would use any of those bigger balls inside the house because you may end up breaking something, but you certainly can use any ball that you have at home. The only reason I'm using the sock ball is because everybody has access to a pair of socks. So if you don't have a ball at home, just make yourself a sock ball. Remember to keep your knees bent, to follow through when you throw. Underhand tossing can be used in games throughout your life. When I go play horseshoes, I have horseshoe pits in my backyard. I throw horseshoes. What do I throw them? Underhand. If you ever go to a picnic, a lot of times they have the cornhole. That's where you throw the bean bags at the targets. And we've done some of that at the school. So these are things that are going to be useful later on. So have fun with it. If you want to post in the discussion some things that you tried at home to share with others and have them try it, what was fun for you. All right. Remember, do your exercises, have some fun, relieve some stress. All right. Yes! Woo! That's what I'm talking about, boys and girls!